Frost everywhere this morning, and I'm basically in all my layers. So for the better part of 15 years, I have taught a wilderness class that involves, taking people up to altitude and snow camping. It's a lot of fun. However, the one thing I hate is getting up when it's cold in the morning. Cold at night, that's good, as long as you got enough layers. But yeah, especially now because everything is frosty out here. So if I had known it was going to get quite so cold, I would have done things a little different, because right now I've got water that I don't want to put through a filter, because if it freezes inside the filter, that's an issue. The filter was inside, close to my bag, so I'm not worried about it freezing. However, my CNOC has ice in it, and I really don't want to crack the plastic because I kind of need that to filter. So despite having been up and ready to go pre-dawn, I'm actually waiting just a little bit longer here. So you can see all the dead trees. That was why I was having trouble finding anything in the trees until I got up here, at least. So I basically went from 95 degrees to low 30s in a week. Fun times. I really should have been smarter last night and filtered the rest of the water I was carrying in the CNOC. Should have been a clue that it was cold enough that I didn't really want to get out of the sleeping bag. Not to mention, I was just beat. As a result, I'm going to be a little light going over the peak ahead as far as water, but I should be fine. And I had enough to make my 2 cups of coffee, so psh. This was all covered in frost this morning, but it's been melting out pretty quick now that the sun came out. Waiting for the sun to warm things up is part of what held my miles down last year on the ECT. When it does get cold, other than trying not to have water in my CNOC that's going to freeze, the 2 things I worry about are batteries and my water filter. My water filter, since I have the quick draw, which actually seals, I've been in the habit of keeping that tucked in inside the tent. And if it gets really cold, I'll have it inside my sleeping bag. Same with the batteries. When it is going to be really cold, I have my batteries and my phone inside the sleeping bag with me. It's one of the things I like about having a mummy. It's a little easier to contain things like that. Putting sweaty clothes on from the day before is always less than pleasant when it's cold. It makes me wish I was still the sort of person that could just sleep in my hiking clothes for the next day. Used to do that all the time on shorter trips, basically change for the next morning the previous night. But I got some weird skin issues on the PCT, and switching into dry cotton sleeping layers seemed to help that. Well, underwear or cotton, the shirt is just that short sleeve. I was also officially happy to have my warmer sleeping bag last night. I might have been okay in my lighter one, but this is kind of why I anticipated using my 10 degree on this trip. And yes, I know I should have sent it down ahead of the winds or ahead of getting into Colorado or something. But as I've said before, I hate screwing with mailing too much stuff. And by the time I realized I wasn't going to have a cold start due to that warming trend at a glacier, it just didn't make any sense. So I have about 1,000 feet to get up and over Lost Ranger, and water about 5 miles away on the other side. And then after that, I'm going to have some ups and downs, but the general trend is going to be dropping back down around 8,000 feet until I get to my hitch out to Steamboat or Kremlin. Still not sure which one of those I'm doing. I'm hoping to get reception on the far side of this and check in with my off-trail support team who has, better internet. Also, yes, the hunters are still back here. I'm pretty sure that's who was passing by pre-dawn this morning. One of those gadgets I've been wanting to get for a while, and I can never find one that I think I'll be happy with, is I wanted to get one of those little teardrop thermometers, a digital one that can record what the low was for any given night. It's just nice to have, and especially when I'm leading one of the snow trips for WTC. It gives students bragging rights. I've looked at a couple, but they seem like they were either expensive or reportedly pretty damn inaccurate. As far as today, basically it's all about trying to get as close to my hitch into Steamboat as possible. I should be able to make that a little under 10 miles tomorrow. which is good because after dinner tonight, I'm going to be down to a bar, a little bit of peanut butter, and my emergency mashed potato dinner, which may be 5 a.m. breakfast tomorrow. If I went back to work now, I'd have to quit it again to do something else like this.
CDT coalition.
One of them went away, and then there was another one.
Baby.
Bighorn sheep. Oh yeah! Oh, my girlfriend would be squeeing herself right now. Yeah, when I've seen the babies, it's been in huge crowds. Except, yeah, your permit's for 27, and they say you got to be in the cabin by, 4 p.m. Did you see the news this year? Now it has Wi-Fi on the top.
No.
Yeah, I get to teach, but it's similar. I mean, people who want to learn scuba diving are pushing themselves. And yet again, the trail is kind of coming on. So that was Comet, former AT hiker from 2016, who was going to be starting a job, so came out here to do a section of the trail before she started. She's local-ish from Fort Collins. Ran into her on the big incline this morning. We promptly started talking. So the hills have gone pretty quick. Did cut into my pace a little bit though. So now I gotta book it. Fortunately, when I talk more, I eat less. So this is helping me with the whole squeaking through with my food thing. This was more what I was expecting when I thought Colorado. Of course, now having climbed all yesterday and spending today descending down into the muck here. The problem with looking ahead at the day and going, oh, mostly downhill, is there are a couple of significant hills mixed in here and there. Keeps me from getting bored. So it's currently 49 degrees ambient, and with the wind going like this, there's a bit of wind chill going on, so I can't stop very long, which on the plus side keeps me from burning batteries, but I've been trying to check things off and on as quick as I can. It looks like my stop is going to be Steamboat. That's just going to work out better for a couple of reasons, and the things I need like socks and underwear are going to be spread out over the next 3 stops. For the weather forecast I just pulled, it's probably going to be back into the high 20s tonight, and it looks like precipitation come Wednesday or so. I'm pretty sure there are way more hunters than actual elk out here at this point. Pretty out here, but last day or two has been dragging on a bit. And back to a parking lot. I just exited the wilderness. That was kind of a steep one. I think I entered it yesterday afternoon. I swear, on the PCT coming across the trailhead with the pit dwell, it was a glorious day. At the moment, I don't really care. The advantage of not having a ton of water and not having a ton of food is I'm not as insistent on going to the bathroom. Nice to empty my toilet paper periodically, but that's it. What I wish they had would be like a nice cold soda machine. Well, it's a really cool app. One of the limitations of Far Out / Gut Hook is it's often hard to tell what you're going to be hiking on. Sometimes you get clues, but this is actually a pleasant surprise. Flat-ish ATV trail. If this continues, I might be able to make up some time I lost going over that mountain last night. I am dragging pretty bad. I think it is just the food, but tried to eat a good chunk of what I have left. I need to push on another 7 miles or so, and it's already 5 o'clock. Lake Elmo. It's a lot harder to keep moving when I haven't had enough calories for the last day or two. Just trying to knock out another 3 miles or so before it gets dark. I did notice that this is my highest mileage week. I'm at 152 miles and it's Saturday. I count through Sunday. So, yeah, the basin would have been, but I took that 0 in Rollins. Man, that temperature really drops as soon as the sun's off me. Kind of seems wrong to stop before dark, but I am currently 8.7 miles away from the furthest hitch point, which is 6.7 miles from the road. And I know there's a campground up ahead, and I don't want to end up getting into one of those trailhead sort of situations. Plus, check it out. An actual developed campsite. I haven't had that for a while. 7:40, I made it right under 25 miles despite the setbacks earlier. I am just beyond tired. But that's okay because tomorrow morning I go into Steamboat Springs. I was able to talk to Taters and she has a hotel waiting for me, so that'll be nice. Just the one night, get a resupply, do laundry, eat again, keep eating. I mean, I'm planning to eat a whole lot and then back out the next day. Headed for, I think, Grand Lake. Home sweet home for the night.